Hi there. Hey, I'm Jen Rice, and I am a business owner and practicing physician assistant. I was conventionally trained in medicine, meaning, kind of went through the traditional PA school and have been practicing in mostly dermatology for the past almost 14 years. And I put on videos, which I hope will be helpful for people in their health journey, because I myself went through my own health kind of crisis about a year and a half ago, and that's where I found functional medicine and started looking into things beyond hey Michelle, thanks for jumping on. Things beyond conventional medicine. This is not to say that there aren't fantastic things in traditional medicine, but I do think when I opened my eyes a bit and kind of my heart, I guess you'd say, to alternative, integrative, functional medicine, just other modalities, my health greatly improved just by making some changes. So today I wanted to talk about the brain, because I was reading a book. It was called Why Isn't My Brain Working? It's a really thick book, and it's written, I forget the doctor's name, but anyway, it has lots of case studies. And one case study like literally floored me, and I had to share it here. So there was this 36-year-old female physician, and she came into his office. He has a functional practice, and she had been literally even having trouble, like her gait was unsteady. She was having a lot of brain fog, sleep problems, feeling just a lot of stress. And she had been a high achiever her whole life. She had gone to medical school when she was like 17, and just a high accelerator. And she got out and began practicing in medicine. And for whatever reason, maybe not necessarily taking care of her own health, she developed like autoimmune conditions where her body was attacking itself. And here she is, only 36 years old, and she's having cognitive issues that were never present before. So this to me is such a key thing, that we don't even think about how stress can affect how our brain works. I kind of sometimes when I feel stressed, maybe my shoulders are tight, or like your belly maybe gets a little upset. But when you think about the fact that when you're under an inordinate amount of stress, it can actually affect your brain. And I'm not talking the kind of stress that is healthy. There's always like, oh, I'm really nervous, I've got to give a presentation, or oh, I want to do a Facebook Live, I'm kind of nervous about this. Like that kind of stress can be good and productive, but it's sort of these prolonged stress periods. So I was looking into, I like to do the research also on what, traditional, conventional medicine says about this. And there actually are a lot of people, even at Harvard Medicine, that are doing a lot of looking into this, the brain health, because we have this huge sort of spike in people with Alzheimer's, dementia. Of course, we know there's a lot of anxiety, mood disorders, even younger people with these memory problems, like the doctor I mentioned earlier. So, like, what is going on here? And basically, what she was describing, so Dr. Jill Goldstein, who's with Harvard Medicine, she's actually a professor of psychiatry, she was saying that when the brain goes into a stress mode, there's one part of your brain, so like the brain is like a whole network, right? And there's a lot of things going on, and there are a lot of different areas that are responsible for doing different things. And our area called the amygdala, which is like the survival part, when we're in either a dangerous situation or an emotional taxing situation, that amygdala is just like, it's getting all the good, it's getting all the energy, and everything else is kind of getting what it can. So it's almost like your brain is triaging where it's going to put its focus. And so since it's shunting resources, that's where you're seeing this sort of shutting down in a way of other parts of the brain. So I found this was like really, really interesting. And the evidence was showing that prolonged long-term stress has more of an issue with it. So, if you're just having a random stressful event, not really a big deal. But if you're under prolonged stress where you see no end point, so You know, when I think about where this can happen, I mean, surely, like in a certain maybe practice situation that I might have been in the past where I didn't really see an end point of me ever maybe leaving the practice, the stress remained the same, there was no exit plan, it wasn't like, oh, in 2 years I'm going to move on to this and that. I could see where that might be an example, or perhaps, you know, maybe you guys can think of some other things, but when there's no time limit on the stress, that's when it can have more of the damage. And then the one thing I want to get through though on this video, because I want to jump off here in a second, is that the number one thing we can do, because none of us are going to escape stress. We all have families and friends and you know, lots of responsibilities, and stress is going to come up. So the number one thing you can do for yourself each and every day is to have a routine in place that focuses just on your own health. Hey, Crystal Bell, thanks for jumping on. Hey, Kaylee. So, what's your routine going to be? Like, what are you going to do every day, even if it's a 30-minute walk? 30-minute walk at lunch, that's my time, that's my jam. I have some girlfriends that love going to the gym. Okay, gym time is mine, 45 minutes a day, every day of the week, or most days of the week. But you gotta have a game plan. I kind of like my current game plan of, I like to get outside every day no matter what, for at least 30 minutes. But I've also started to incorporate the second layer, which is the craniosacral therapy, which I told you guys about last week. I actually went again today. I just like it. It's acupuncture, craniosacral therapy, and a little bit of energy work that she does. And this may not be for everyone, but for whatever reason, it's working for me. So it's something that I'm intentionally scheduling into every week, and maybe every other week as things kind of level out. But, you know, maybe making yourself a nice appointment. Yeah, Christabel, sleep, of course. Like, so many people struggle with sleep, but I think that's, again, the side effect sometimes of stress, because like that triaging of the brain, if the amygdala is like taking up everybody's energy, you know, it's getting all of the attention, the areas that help us to, you know, process and do other things, which I don't know exactly where the sleep center is of the brain. Neurology is, I don't know, maybe one of my friends on here will pop in and be like, oh yeah, the center of the brain that does sleep is this. So anyway, I hope you guys found this helpful. I think the main thing is have a routine for your health to combat stress. And it sounds like a really simple video and a simple concept, but for me it just hit me reading this story about this doctor. Nobody who's 36 years old and that high functioning should now be dysfunctioning because of stress, right? I mean, within reason. So I do have 5 tips for protecting yourself against damaging stress for your brain. If you're interested in getting those, I'm happy to send them out to you by private message. If you just want to private message me, I can just send you the information over. I'm happy to share that. I hope you guys have a great afternoon. If you found value in this video, please feel free to share it. If you have any questions in particular, please pop them in the comments. We never know who's watching, who may even, you know, who may have more information on this. So, hey, Ron, thanks for being here. Yeah, we got to protect our brain, right? I mean, what good is anything if at the end of the day, we don't even have the wherewithal to make things happen. You know, we worked our lives away for what? And it's not to say we shouldn't be working hard. It's to say that we got to figure out how to build in those health safety nets, right, every day. All right, you guys take care. Have a great day.